Check, check. 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 Okay, 07 Commanders, welcome. I'm Commander Darkstar Jedi, and today I'm going to be taking a tour round the bubble as part of the Winking Cat Christmas giveaway. This is a mystery that's come in 2 parts. The first, well, all 6 parts have now been released as code as part of GalNet, and I'm going to be looking to do them all and collect all the free stuff, and let's see what it's like. So first of all today, I need to find a ship to fly. So let's see. What ship shall I go with today? Well, to be honest, there's only one for me, and that's Dora. I love my little Dora. Where are you? There we are. My DBX, Dora the Explorer. Right, for this trip, there are certain things you're going to need on your ship. First of all, you're going to need an SRV. There's no point trying to scan this from a ship, it's just no. So bring an SRV, load one up. That will just make life more fun, to be honest with you, which is what I've got. Also, you're going to need a surface scanner. That's the little thingy that fires probes. And make sure you've got that set to a fire group. Something nice and simple. Okay, yep, all done, lovely, yep, D-scanner, surface scanner, done, okay. So, also recommend that you'd have a ship with a little bit of decent jump range on it, because you are going to be jumping around a bit. I mean, personally, I would say something with preferably 30 light years, but something with 20 would do just fine, really. But obviously, the longer jump range you got, then quicker the time it's going to take to get from place to place. So that's why I'm taking Dora. She's got a nice good jump range. This one currently is on, well, unladen 74, at the moment 70 light years, so sweet. Okay, so where we're going to go to now is going to be our first destination, which, let me just find out, is, I'm trying to remember where it was now. That's very good, isn't it? I have no clue what I'm doing. Well, that's nothing new, to be perfectly honest, so all good. So what I need to do is just, I had a little list. Okay, so the first place we need to go to is Epsilon Eridani. And from where I'm starting, there you go, that is 95 light years from where I'm starting. And once you're in that system, we are looking for a planet called Major's Mine, which you will then see is the 3rd planet out from the sun at a distance of 400 and, what's that, 83 light seconds, so nothing too bad. So for me, from where I'm starting, that's just a quick 2 jumps. So let's not hold up and let's get going.
Landing clamp disengaged. You are clear to leave.
let's go, go, go.
Charging.
Nah, let's just keep going.
Frameshift drive charging. Disengaged.
Well, because I've been here before, it actually shows up on my nav panel, but it is Major's Mind, the third planet out. And where are we? Crash ship. There we are. Exploration tag. That's the one we want. And I'm lazy. Let the autopilot take control. So at this first one, Epsilon Eridani Major's Mind, we're heading for the crash ship, and when we land we're going to scan a little settlement marker data point, and that is when we'll look to collect our first set of rewards. And for this one we are looking to receive 10 million in credits, a Festive Flak launcher in red, and a 5B luxury cabin. Alright, that's no good on this ship, but if you ever get one of the South Krugers, Orca, Dolphin, Beluga, then that's a luxury cabin for free for that. Okay, it's nice to see we're not alone in this system. Destination. See how to make a good approach.
Orbital flight engaged.
Hi there, Reef 200. All going good, mate. How's your day today? Have you taken part in this winking cat little giveaway thing yet? Okay, I'm just coming in to approach to the first point of interest. Right, I do have to say I've actually done this one before, so I've already claimed the prize. Ah, you've done it all. I haven't got the sixth one yet, Reed. So that's why I thought I started number
Low
one.
gravity
I've done the
warning.
first five. And, well, I thought I'd go collect the sixth one today and then just run through them all again. So what do you think of the prizes so far, Reed? I'm actually really happy with the one on Christmas, well, yesterday's one. And I must admit, I'm kind of happy getting the courier. And I'm looking forward to getting the vulture today. Although, yeah, the sixth one's out. It came out, let me see, where I am it's 3:30. It's been out and sold for about 2 hours now. Now, obviously, I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet then, because I'm saving the sixth one for this today, the stream. So, it is out there though. It's not too hard to find a solution. It's actually in the GalNet article that's out today. I think it's about the last paragraph. So there we go. That's the first one done. And for this one, I would have got 10 million credits. The Christmas Flak launcher in red. And what else was there? Flak launcher, 10 million credits. Oh yeah, and a size 5B luxury cabin. And that's stored at Dark's High, which is in this system. Now the only thing I want to know while I'm here is this. No ramps here. No, that's no good. Right, so that's first site done. Do you know what? I have to agree with you, Reap. The Flak launchers, while I love the fact they're colours, yeah, minus 99% damage. It would have been awesome going after Thyroid with that. You're totally right, mate. I would have loved it. Now, really, what are you going to do with them? Yeah, stick them on a ship, fire them all up at once, and try and catch explosions, and yeah, post it on Reddit as a say Happy New Year, and then you take them off, and then you take them off for another year. Blow them up with the power of Christmas. I like that. Alright, so that's the first one up and done. So now it's time for me to head off to site number 2, aka the gift from Achilles. So come on, galaxy map. Alright, let me whack this one in quick. We are going to Daiso. Sure, there's something else in that system, isn't there? I don't know. Do you know what though? You know what? You could put these Flak launchers on. A nice little explorer ship. And then take it all the way out to Colonia and fire them off in celebration. Now, I'm just trying to remember which planet it is I've got to go to. It's that one, 5B. So, Daiso system, planet 5B. Only 2 jumps. So, let me just whack this in the chat. Second stop is Daiso 5B.
Landing gear retracted.
Reef, if you're still there, mate, since you've got this second lot, what did you I feel a bit annoyed about the Christmas jumper, which is what we're going to get as one of the little cosmetics on this. It does feel kind of a bit useless to me, being someone on console and with no piss in Odyssey, but that's a whole nother story that I don't want to get into.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so heading towards Daiso, 2 jumps. Lucky you, mate, lucky you. Well, I must admit, at the start, obviously, when it all came out, I was taking the mick out of all you PC guys, calling you just glorified beta testers for console, but I must admit there is a little part of me that is a little worried, will they even make it out onto console, even next gen, but just have to wait and see. Down.
Fuel scoop disengaged.
So nice. Is this a primary system? No, is it just a binary? I didn't realise I jumped in for a minute then between 2 stars. Great balls of fire. Okay.
Frameshift drive charging.
Now hopefully you guys will stay with me until we get to the 6th point. That's the brand new one that's come out today.
3, 2, 1.
Although if you figured out how to do the first few clues at all and caught on as to how they're giving away the system names, then you'll find it quite easy to figure out the system names in this one today. So we're now in the Daiso system, heading towards Planet 5B. That's a bit of a trek out there, this one, isn't it? 1,500 light seconds. There we go. 5B. You know what, I'm hearing the same thing that exactly that you said, Reef, is yeah, people with even recommended spec, it's yeah, having a few issues here and there, and some people it seems to work, some people it doesn't, especially like you said, like high intensity conflict zones. Yeah, I've heard of people tanking down like to sub 10 and all that stuff. So yeah, last gen, which is what I'm on, to be honest. Yeah, tricky. I mean, I'm not into all that stuff, but I'm aware of enough that, yeah, I do agree it's going to be tricky. So maybe it's time for me to go rob a bank and get myself a PS5, or go rob the Fort Knox so I can afford a PC with a decent graphics card. Go. Oh, cross save. Oh, please, yes. Oh, I know about that. I must admit, I think people are a bit mad, like the ones you hear, ones going from console over to PC. I'm not a fan of that because, yeah, I know you can take your money, but that's all you get. Honest, I'd rather go across as broke but have all my engineers and shit unlocked rather than walking away with whatever amount of money I've got at the moment and having to do all that grind again. Yeah, no thank you. Not for me. I mean, I must admit, I've got an alt account on PS4 here, and I must admit, I gave up halfway through the engineer grind again. I just, yeah, it was just a step too much. Okay, so here's our target, crash ship. Oh, shit. Okay, so we just need to get our arse around the other side of the planet.
Orbital flight engaged.
Okay, I'm just focusing on my approach here. Good angles, good speed. I don't know how many engineers you've managed to unlock. I must admit, I think I've got about 23 of them on this particular account here done, and I must admit it's especially that slog all the way out to Colonia just to get them full. Ugh. Oh, you did the switch. Well, hats off to you, Reap. You are a brave man. But it's not that bad. Well, it just feels like, you know, well, I must admit, well, I'm glad you didn't find it too bad, but I think it is a step too far for me personally. I don't think, if I was to move across to PC, I would just start again and use my console account as like a support for it. Because I've got myself a carrier on this account, so I'd probably, yeah, I'd rather just start fresh.
Landing gear deployed.
Spots. Okay, I saw a landing spot. Oh, nope, there was one. There you go. Oh, now that I'm on the ground, well, right, Reap, you're right, the engineering grind is, yeah, definitely the worst part. But, yeah, I kind of know, once having done the engineering grind once, yeah, I know how to kind of, I wouldn't say shortcut it, but certainly compress it. But, just so many bloody engineers, though. And then all the materials to upgrade all your equipment and modules. So, yeah, I can see the point of having cash. Yeah, of course, money always makes life a little bit easier, no doubt about that. But, like I said, you're a better man than me. You definitely managed to do it, and like you said, you've got all but 2 again. I just don't know if I could face it. I think I'll wait. I'll wait until see if FDev ever get their bloody act together and A, I'll win the lottery and buy a decent rig, and B, FDev get their act together and sort out a proper version of bloody Crosshair. Ship. Yeah, that was skinned. Right, so just to say that on this second one, the gift from Achilles at Daiso, Planet 5B, you will get 10 million credits, the Asp X Festive green paint job, and the green Santa jumper outfit for all you wonderful, lovely, lucky people who will have Odyssey. So, otherwise, 10 million credits is all good. I see chat there. Mr. Hotas, Mr. Fancy Man. Yes, I must admit, if I was to go over to PC in a heartbeat, it would be, with that PC, would be buying a proper Hotas. No arguments with me there. I would love to do that. I know PS4 has one, a Thrustmaster piece of shit, but that's exactly why I've never bothered with it, because from what I hear, it starts to drift or break or some shit within like a week. Nah, thanks. I'm all good with the controller. It will do. But of course, though, HOTAS is all about flight assist off. That's one thing I must admit. I can't really do with the controller that well. Well, actually, I'm shit. But yeah, I would buy HOTAS hands down. That's the reason for buying a PC. May or may not be waiting, eh? Damn that Amazon, why couldn't they've got here like 2 days ago? Well, I'm sure that's going to be... Well, do you know what? I will say something about your Christmas present. At least you know it's definitely something you wanted. And it beats a pair of socks. Lucky sod. A month or 2, wait. Oh my gosh. Damn, what's going on? Did it come from China and someone's walking with it? Damn, that's a surprise. I didn't think it'd be that so. But still, if it's a quality piece and it lasts, then you know what, the wait will be worth it, of course. Right, I need to figure out where I'm going next. Oh yes, stop number 3, the gift from the Duvals. So, I have no idea how you say that. Zex, Z-E-A-E-X. And let's get some more festive goodies plotted in. So I need to head to Irvin's Wreck is the name of the planet. There we are, Irvin's Wreck. 6th planet in the system of Zex. Ah, okay, I didn't know about them in particular, mate, so... Well, fair enough. Belarus to Canada is not exactly... Yeah. part of your local neighborhood, I suppose. So fair enough. But like I said, yeah, you're saying it's quality, so well, quality's always worth waiting for, mate. I'm going to be very, very jealous of you. Just a few rowboats, where you say. I don't know what kind of rowboat you That's in what I would call a bloody mission and a half.
Cargo scoop deployed. Cargo scoop retracted.
Head off to the next destination.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, so yet again, 2 jumps to our destination. Well, let me see. When it comes to HOTAS, I am interested. However, I've kind of never bothered to get to know anything about them because the opportunity for me to actually ever get one is, to be honest, somewhere between bugger all and fat chance. And like I said, being on PS4, there is only one on the market, and I can't even remember its name properly, what model number, but it is a horrible, horrible
Frameshift drive charging.
thing, and it just breaks, and I wouldn't want to touch one because it would probably ruin my whole experience of HOTAS. But still, you can tell me though, now, how many different ones have you had then?
Fuel scooping. Fuel scoop disengaged. Frameshift drive charging.
Well, I see you said there, yeah, Thrustmaster Warthog. I think that's one I've heard of, or a Thrustmaster 6200. There's, I think, another model that I've heard that people seem to like. But one thing, perhaps, it's not so much the HOTAS, but I've seen people have these. I know there's like can be 101 buttons you can program, but people have these little panels. I've forgotten what they're called. And they have little switches or buttons on that can do a lot of the key buttons separately, which is something I would actually have. You know, make it into like feel like more of a cockpit. So things like cargo hatch will be on this button. It might have a super cruise assist button. You know, things like that. Button boxes. Okay, no, that's fair enough. Button boxes, yeah. That, I've seen people make homemade ones. There are a few professional ones out there, I think. But if you want to go the whole hog, alright, if money wasn't an issue, parts were an issue and all that shit, I'd have that, and I'd love to have some VR. Now that's one thing I do miss on PS4 is the bloody VR. Yeah, Reef, that's what I've heard. Is VR is just, it's like an out-of-body experience. That is something, yeah, because I hear, despite F-Dev's best effort, Elite is probably arguably still one of the best VR games. Obviously excluding Odyssey. Unfortunately, what they've decided to do with that is, I feel sympathy for that. So there's the crash ship, locked on. Even always, other side of the planet. You've got a bone to pick with what they did with Odyssey. What do you mean a bone? Only one bone. Is that all? You just got one bone? Well, go on. Cool. I mean, I got bloody bones to pick with them as well, and I'm only on console horizons. All the fucking bugs that transfer across, the changes that are happening to my UI. No! It's the biggest bone. Go on. Come on then. What's your bone? So busy looking out for your bone. I'm overflying my target.
Orbital flight engaged.
Okay, yeah, open VR. I see, yeah. Okay, so, well, while I didn't know about that particular program, OpenVR, the plugin, as far as I'm aware, they weren't fucking doing anything with VR except projecting a fucking flat screen, and anything else people were just trying to get workarounds with. Not that I know much about it, to be honest. I'm going to start. Don't give me bloody thingy on my
Landing gear deployed. Landing gear retracted. Landing gear deployed.
Okay, yeah. Wait, so what you're saying is, in Odyssey, there's an OpenVR plug that they can use and everyone uses, but you found one that will work in any VR DX9 game. Bloody hell. Wait, have you posted this shit up on like Reddit and see if other fucking people can use it for VR? Because if you're saying this open modified one solves about 80 of the issues, then fucking hell, you can make a lot of people very happy. But on the other hand, what the hell does that show about some of the thinking that seems to be perhaps going on inside F-Dev?
Low gravity warning.
But then again, I see a lot of things though don't really surprise me, because when you hear about Because what I've heard about Frontier stuff is a lot of them are fresh out of like Cambridge Uni. So while they may know coding, obviously when you start somewhere, no matter what job you do, you've always got to learn the in-house way of doing things. Like what you learn at uni was just beginning. Where am I going? I will. Wait a minute. You just used the words frontier and optimized in the same sentence. How do you know that's going to make me laugh? Especially when it comes to modesty. Oh gosh, I'm sorry, but I think there must be a rule in the English language that says you cannot put those two words together in a coherent sentence. Oh, looks like mic check, mic check. My engine is too loud. Well, I'll try not to talk when the engine's running. Alright, okay, so this is the third stop. Let me just make a point of this. Third stop. Where are we again? I can't even remember where we've got to. Oh yeah, that funny, weird system. We're up and Urbans. Okay, so just to update, this is the third stop, Irvin's wreck in the ZX system. And for scanning the crash ship here, we're getting 10 million. Ah, see, this is a good one. The Imperial Courier is a freebie gift. And that's at, oh, frig, how do you say that? Tryggvason Orbital. So, yep. Actually, that makes my second Imperial Courier now, because the weird thing was I did actually go out and buy an Imperial Courier about 2 weeks ago. I'm fine. Here's one now for free. And I should also just highlight that these three first stops are called part one of the Xmas giveaway. And these first three must be completed and collected by the 30th of December. Otherwise, you will lose access to them. So the 30th of December must be the deadline for the first three stops that we've just gone to. Okay. Sorry about that. Well, just how you're wondering about how Frontier can mess things up, I was kind of touching on why personally I think so. And that's to do with, let me say, the experience of their staff. Because there does seem to be quite a relatively high turnover of staff, not just in some of the management and lead design areas, but just basic everyday sort of coders, developers level. There's a number of issues I've heard of in regarding pay, quality of life, all the standard things you hear about any job. But perhaps the concern is because they're all a lot of them seem to be students fresh out of uni, perhaps some of their knowledge, they may not have some of the knowledge to bypass, sidestep, do workarounds as someone who's been in the business for 10, 20 years. It just seems to be, if it's a bit along the lines of your expression, if you're going to pay peanuts, you're only going to hire monkeys. But it makes money for FDev, they keep it ticking over, so why would they change? It works for them. Oh yeah, you've heard about Jurassic Park 2. Yeah, I know. but it's. I think a lot of their issues, weirdly enough, sound similar to Odyssey. There's a lack of original gameplay. There's a lack of depth to it. It's. I know that's something you can sometimes throw at a lot of games, especially like now you're hearing it with FIFA games and with Call of Duty games, that there's not much different from previous versions. But they do it so bloody well that people will still buy it by the bucket load. Elite needed, as everyone said, it needed more baking in the oven. As you can see, we're 6 months after launch, 9 updates in, and progress has been made, but your mileage may vary. So how much longer can they keep? Because you know what as well? They've still got a, what is it, a Warhammer 40k game to do that's due for release next year, and also a Formula One management game or something. So there's still other games they've got to move to, and eventually they're going to take devs away from Elite. How much more content can they put into Elite before resources are required elsewhere? I think they're going to keep half-assing because they're going to keep trying to, because Frontier I think want to become like a publishing game publisher rather than just a developer. So as is being suggested through links they have with trying to publish other people's games, they're getting those companies to do work on Odyssey, which is why there seems to be such a disconnect between what's on ground, what's in space, and just the overall fucking quality of it. But will Frontier ever learn their lesson? Uh, that's the million-dollar
Low
question.
gravity warning.
Alright, landed on my wheel, that wasn't bad. Okay, so I need to start making a move on, head to the next destination. And the next destination, stop number 4. This is going to be an interesting stop. Oh, God, look, you're totally right. They half-assed Odyssey. We all know pretty much for certain that it was released to fit a financial time frame, the end of year accounts, and they wanted. They knew it wasn't in as good a condition as it should have been, and some of those reasons that contributed to that, you can say, fine, perfectly acceptable. But obviously they delayed things, and it got to the point where the accounts were wanting some money coming in. But I still say they should have said fuck it. But they wanted, that's why they wanted to this alpha whatever release and deluxe packages, was to cream in as much money as possible before people really figured out the condition of the game. That's my personal opinion. So, what's the expression? Minimal viable product. Yeah, their stocks are tanked for the time being, but when you've got, I think they've got someone like Tencent, that Chinese company, involved with them. If it was just Frontier's own stocks on their own, but yeah, it's down, but That will recover over time eventually, and you'll probably find a lot of companies of stock have been depressed as well. I think there's a bit of a market trend on software developers, game developers. You've seen there have been a lot of problems with just a lot of games that have been released. Battlefield 2042, obviously going back to Cyberpunk. That was that. What was that one? eFootball, the original PES that was redone. So it just seems to be an overall trend, not quite unique to Frontier, of just putting out half-ass shit and deal with it later. Right. Anyway, I must, as we're talking, I must get a move on. Tally ho, what not? Stop number 4.
Landing gear retracted.
Which is, by the way, an interesting stop. We're going to Epsilon Indy this time. And we're going to that most famous of planets, Mitterand Hollow. Yes, and all I can say is I hope I do better this time trying to land on it than I did last time. You're right, it is a small amount for 10 cent, and it's probably, but for me the way I see it is they're seeing the potential, because the way FDev operates is minimizing cost and maximizing profit, which seems obvious enough for any company, but they do it by running a very minimal amount of staff and all that stuff. But Tencent would see something in the long-term projections that once COVID and all that kind of shit is out the way, the situation should improve for FDev and for other developers, in my opinion. So this is definitely a bad thing that has happened to Frontier, but in some ways they are lucky that they are a smaller developer publisher, and they'll probably hide amongst all the other crap that's happened. And some people will say if it's down 35 to 40%, long term this company is a viable proposition. So you know what, it could be an opportunity to buy in now while the price is depressed, if you're looking at a 5-year plan on them. Sorry, I'm going into fucking share dealing now. Sorry, I used to do a bit of that back in the day in another life, but you're right, they haven't done it in a very good manner. But if you were to look at their financials for the past few years, you can see that they have this way of operating their business, and they have outperformed themselves they've outperformed what you would expect of a company of their size by quite a substantial degree. But you're right, it has looked like the bubble may have burst. Like you had the dot-com bubble, you have housing bubbles, tech bubbles, all that kind of shit. And maybe, in a way, I do hope this bad thing that happened is a bit of a wake-up call. And really what they need to do is to just, in some ways what they're doing is to shut up for a minute and actually figure out what they can and cannot do before they start saying too much. Because we all know what happened over the summer with the CMs and all that shit on the streams and whatnot. But I'm just heading off to Epsilon Indy and Mitterand Hollow. But I would actually ask you something, Reed. A hypothetical question. Let's give FDev the benefit of the doubt and say that they can get the performance right and optimization, the anti-aliasing, all the culling and all that kind of shit. They all get that done running, and it's working as good as done in Horizons. Then I would still ask you, out of 10, what would you rate Odyssey? Since you've actually played it and used it, that'll be interesting. Because I do have my own personal issues that to me are in some ways bigger than the actual just straight performance. Yes, assuming all the bugs and stuff, you know, it was working as intended. How would you rate Odyssey? Although I would add in the caveat that, yeah, we know there's also a bit of reality that they'll never get rid of every single bug. Which is why I'll say we'll get it working as good as Horizons. Because Horizons works really well. Yes, there are bugs in it, sometimes annoying, but, you know, by and large it's solid, stable, and it works.
Frameshift drive charging.
So 7 out of 10 right now, you say, and just assuming more content planned over time like Horizons. Okay, and assuming everything happens, you know, extra content comes in. Yes, I understand. You give it 8.5, 9. Now, that's fair enough. You know, I can't really agree or disagree, which is why I asked your opinion, because I've never played it. I can only go by what I've seen from other people's streams and, of course, comments on Reddit. Now, I guess you like the SPS side a lot, the first-person shooter. Because that, to me, obviously seems to be the main focus of this, so far, seems to be the main focus of this DLC. And I must admit, I'm not a massive combat fan. You know, they've not really, you know, I've done Call of Duty, don't get me wrong, that, you know, that was my thing. I did that for years. And I admit maybe part of my hesitancy towards Odyssey is because of that focus on the combat and the fact that I am not the greatest in the world at it. Even in space, it's something I can do. PvE, yeah, but oops, shit. What's that? And I must admit, I'm not happy with the idea in the combat of having to switch weapons. One to take down shields, and then I know it's an exact copy of the ships, but I don't think that really works that well. And then to get anywhere and progress, you're going to have to find the G3 gun and equipment to make it enjoyable. Hold on, let me just get back on target. Now that you mentioned the Scorpion, yes, I am actually genuinely happy that there is finally something. Yes, that is a positive. I do like the idea of the Scorpion. I think it looks good. From the video seen, it looks kind of fun. Yeah, I would go out and... I wish it was in Horizons, to be honest. Ooh, hold on, I need to get in front of this bugger, otherwise it's going to disappear away from me again. And it's already doing that. Damn it! go out. Oh, and you were mentioning Thargoid stuff. Yes, I must admit that was one thing I had before it was released that I was hoping would be Thargoid on-foot combat. I would have loved to have seen that and then eventually to take part in it. Alright, hold on, where's this bloody planet? I've got to get in front of it, otherwise it's going to whiz right past me. This is the interesting about fucking Mitterand Hollow. Nah. I'm gonna miss it, aren't I? I'm gonna bloody miss it. Ah. Alright, buggered that up. Down. Well, I'll have to try the new Galaxy AI myself because I've heard mixed things about it, but yes, there is a proper search bar, for example, that starts giving you options, you know, like predictive text. That I like the sound of. Perhaps, I mean, there's a lot of new icons that are going to have to be learnt and no sort of text explanation, but yes. Yep, I'm in the orbit of Mitterand Hollow. Made it. Now I just got to find this pesky crash ship. There it is. Well, let's hope with the UI that there will be a bit further development on it.
Orbital flight engaged.
But there's still things like the outfitting. Some of them screens with the information on still seem to be lacking some information that we used to have before. So, as with any UI change, there's going to be some development I would expect. Well, I see they're talking about games, future developments. Because the thing was, from what I understood, Jurassic Park, the first one, was actually performing, it could be argued, was performing as well as Elite Dangerous, but had gotten there in a shorter amount of time. But obviously with Jurassic World 2 not proving to be very well received. What on earth is going on here? If I come into... yeah, I was reading what you said. Hold on, let me just take a pause here. Let's just hold on. Oh yeah, so which ones are actually generating profit? See, I know I've heard of Planet Coaster and Planet Zoo do make a profit, but not masses. Elite Dangerous has been the bread and butter for Elite. Yeah, it's been the one that's constantly generated income, all consistently. Jurassic World did make as much money as Elite was, and it started doing it in a short amount of time, but it's roughly Elite level. So those two are the main ones as far as I know. But obviously looking forward, let's see, Warhammer game. Now, I don't know much about Warhammer 40k, except apart from I knew of it as a board game. and card and some other stuff, and I know there's mad stories to do with it, some crazy stuff. So I don't see. That's the thing. My view now is tainted after Odyssey. I'm like, can they actually pull something together? Do they have enough resources to split themselves over these multiple projects? Is COVID still going to be around and cause all these interruptions? So yeah. True, yes. Well, when it comes to their long-term plans, yeah, you could perhaps see that they're trying to diversify in the style of games that they're making. But oh, yeah, I can imagine them doing something with the Formula One game, and it's a management game, and it's basically a digitalized mobile card game or some shit. Same with 40K. Yeah, it's one of those ones where I feel FDev could go either way. They could pull their ass together, because what I think is, are they going to focus on making Odyssey the 9 out of 10 that you want it to be, or will they just bring it up to a 7 out of 10, say it works well enough, and we'll just sod that for now while we go and focus on these other projects and basically keep Odyssey in some kind of one step up from maintenance mode while they focus on these others? It's it's a toughy one. I mean, there's lots of stuff that they know that obviously is not in the public domain that could obviously influence how you may progress. But if their long-term plan is to become a games publisher, then obviously there's going to come a time when they're going to have to start branching out and taking these financial risks and hoping they find a few hits, or at least for them to be successful enough for them to keep expanding. But bringing that back to Elite, how long then does Elite have for development? Now, I know there's been talk of a 10-year development plan that's due to end 2024. But that doesn't mean that the game's suddenly going to get stopped. But it may mean, depending on how the company is, will they continue to focus on it as much as they have at the moment? Right, I need to start moving my ass around a bit, isn't it? Start heading to this target rather than just hovering at space. Oh wow, where I was heading to, I've come out of orbit. What the hell? See, this is what talking about Frontier does. It makes you not fly straight. I need to get back up into Super Cruise and just quickly loop back around and descend on Mitterand Hollow. Oh, phew. You have to be careful as well. There's been lots. I've had some issues yesterday with the bloody Braben tunnel. Ooh, wow. Whoa. Well, that's the risk they're going to take. Is if they're focusing on such a small number of titles and they fail, will it fuck them up? That's a fair point. But I suppose that's part of the. Oh shit! I've come too far away again. Oh well. I'll have to go around the other side of the bloody planet then. Now, when it comes to player numbers in Elite, well, we've all known what Odyssey has done to the numbers. I mean, obviously we're all only going by Steam numbers, but going from, what, 10,000 players consecutively down to now about 2,500, yeah, it is a massive, massive, massive loss. But how can they get them back? Because there are going to be some people now that, I mean, let's face it, 6 months is gone. How many people are going to come back after this amount of time? So really, I mean, let's face it, how many of us, though, in bloody Elite are going to go off and play F1 or bloody Warhammer 40k? I mean, I'm not.
Orbital flight engaged.
I need to find the right crash ship. It's important to note, all these ones with the barrels next to the crash ship are wrong. You want the one that says crash ship with the exploration symbol. Looks like a little compass. Where are you?
Orbital flight engaged.
I'm gonna make sure I don't bloody leave the orbit, otherwise I'll lose it again. Oh, this is really flipping annoying, I can't find it. There it is. Crash ship exploration. Other side of the bloody planet. Assuming they make the correct choices. You think they're gonna... Ooh, that's a different train of thought. You think they're gonna I wouldn't say, yeah, compromise on another game to make sure Elites kept going. Oof. I think they shouldn't have to, but it does mean increasing the amount of resources that they have available for each game. And that, yeah, that's where I don't trust them. Oh yeah, let me just swing my ass out. Do you know what? I've been circling Mitterand Hollow now for like 10-15 minutes. Oh bless. Okay. How far away? Alright, hold on, let me just get my shit sorted, get this. Oh, no, come on. Approach the bridge. Die. Okay, I don't care. Let's just get the thing on. I'll just around before I die. Okay, so what can they do? I did ask, yes. So make it more polished. Totally, 100% agree. That's just working out bugs, performance. Question is, how long is that going to take them? That's what needs to be worried. More ships. Now, I must admit, on the more I'm a little bit split. One, because there are so many ships, and I wonder what ships are going to add that's new. But then again, part of me also thinks, well, do you know what? It doesn't matter. Just give us some ships that are comparable to some of the existing meta ships. So even if they're almost identical, they, you know, it makes a difference that your ship looks different. You know, it's like, for me, like Python. Arguably one of the best ships in the game as a whole. Arguably the best medium-sized ship. It can do everything, you know, it is the quintessential multi-role ship. I would like, for example, if something like the, not the Courier, the Clipper, if there was like a medium-sized Gutamea Clipper as a medium-sized ship, similar size cargo, you know, something that can compete with Python, and just so you can see different ships. Because it's like if you see someone in an FDL, you know they're just going to come to kill you, and they've got a fucking meta ship. Would it be nice to see some other ships that you think, well, is that going to be the Gank King that I think it could be, or could it just be someone else in a similar type of ship? So yeah, Thargoid stuff. Well, I think we've said that already. There's got to be on-foot stuff. Perhaps have some of those Thargoid ground bases that are there. Add some things to them that are, you know, designed for people to interact on foot with. And of course, the shit you collect off Thargoids, you know, make them actually useful for something. Because you know what, maybe we could have some new Thargoid-derived weapons. Rather than Guardian, have some Thargoid ones as well. Let them have Warhammer games, let 40k bombs. Okay, cool. Like I said, I know about 40k, I'm not a fan, so that's cool by me. I don't mind. Fuck 40k, fuck F1. Hold on, let me just get my ass on the ground. Okay, so
Low gravity warning.
do you know, well, what you're saying about, yeah, there's only 38, no, that's a fair point, you know, and you are saying things that I do kind of agree with. Yeah, they don't have to, yeah, make a new niche, but yeah, like I said, just give us ships that can compete with the existing meta ship. Yeah, and give some of the manufacturers more ships in, yeah, in niches that they don't currently occupy, because, yeah, look at Lakon. Wouldn't it be cool if they had something that came out that was a proper fighter or something? Because they seem to be, you know, Lakons are just known for fucking types. So yeah. Well, it's an emaciated skeleton is the current roster. I think I could go with that. I mean, I've got a bunch of ships, and reality is, how many of them do I use? Well, I could narrow it down pretty much really to a DBX on my cutter, and sometimes, yeah, and break out my Corvette when I want to do some PvE, and then sometimes break out a crate or my chieftain for some AXI business. So yeah, it's when you want to do things, the choices sometimes feel a bit limiting. So yeah, bring us some more ships. Bring us some more ships. I won't say no. Bring it. Definitely. But see, there's lots of things that they could do. I mean, I would actually like with Odyssey. There's very limited choice with missions. I mean, where's the trade side of things? That's what I was expecting. If I want more stuff as well, besides ships, give us some more fighters, something that we can pilot. Like they wanted this. What was this stupid thing called combined arms, where they wanted people on foot alongside people in an SRV alongside ships all attacking. Well, if they could ever get that kind of thing ever working in a comprehensive way, then it would be nice to have some ship-launched fighters. you know, have something like someone's piloting a ship. You can have a multi-crew. Someone drops in the fighter, drops out, and starts giving some air support in a nippy little ship that can dodge, you know, the lasers from the base defenses. I think there should be a trade mechanic for on-foot gameplay. Quite how to do it, I'm not too sure, but I think there should be something like that. And of course, the exploration. Well, if trade is no skeleton, then obviously exploration is another part of Odyssey on foot that's just a bare skeleton. Hopefully they can come up with something to give that gameplay loop more. Yeah, it's a lack of depth, isn't it? That seems to be the key word, depth. We need more of it. Right, now, let me find the ship. Now that we're here at Mitterand Hollow. Alright, so now I'm scanning point 4. Yep, that one's done. And what did we get as a prize for this one again? Ah yes, for scanning point 4, also known as the gift from Oscar Goldsun, get 10 million credits and Lion's Chieftain Festive Gold paint job and the yellow Festive Flak launcher, all stored at Schneider Relay in the same system. Right, so let's go to yesterday's one, the gift from Rackham Capital Investments. Location, oh, not yet. Not giving that away yet, not till I'm back on the ship. I can get the Galaxy Map.
Handbrake is on.
And of course, Epsilon Indy isn't Epsilon Indy without the obligatory fast-moving picture. Right, done.
Handbrake is on.
Okay, picture taken. Ooh, I'm just reading your ideas, and I do you know what? I love the SRV racetrack. Because you know what, that's something I've done with people, actually taking people out somewhere. It's like when I've gone to do a Guardian site and it's a big flat area, and you know what, you just create your own little racetrack and just scrag around the outside and looping through places. Agreed, totally agree with that. I know it's not exactly fits into the idea of the world we live in, as in within Elite Dangerous per se and as commanders, but fuck it, don't give a shit. If they're going to give us crap like CQC, then why not give us this? NPC missions to load cargo holds using your SRV. Yeah. That would be alright. Or you'd have to smuggle in cargo. How about that? Yes. You can't land at any base to pick it up. So you've got to, you've got to get it into your SRV, drive out of a settlement, get it onto your ship, fly it to another settlement, but you can't land at that settlement because maybe those goods are illegal, so you've got to land out outside, and then you take your SRV and try and drive in and smuggle it in and hand it off to someone. True. You're saying using existing game mechanics, that would save them a lot of time. Yeah.
Handbrake is on.
But I keep having the same feeling that the thing that's holding them back, and it's not even so much. about them being split between different games that they're having to do this, that, and the other. And I don't want to go around necessarily criticizing sort of individuals who are trying to do their job and work hard. But I do believe there is a case to be argued for mismanagement. And also, because of their source of their devs and perhaps potentially their lack of experience, I do believe that impacts on how well the company can actually develop. And hell, I suppose it's even be argued they're out of ideas. Maybe the people who are high enough up have been there in a way influencing too long, and there's a lack of fresh ideas. Because let's face it, everyone says the FPS is like something from the 90s. Well, actually, yes. I'm just reading what you're saying, and yes, you're right about the van, but it was a racing ship. So, okay, you got me there. That's a fair, I suppose, a fair point. But in the end, I was agreeing with you. I think they should put in. I mean, look at the tutorial where you've got to fly through the fucking hoops. I mean, for fuck's sake, is that not a ready-built race course? I mean, yes, they've got one around a bloody space station. Fuck it, repeat it, stick it around Rackham's Peak. Give us something else to do up there, apart from whining fucking loading alcohol. Yeah, you're right, mechanics are there, it's just... Yeah, you don't even really need assets, it's just how you use them, I suppose. Right, it's time for me to leave Mitterand Hollow. And there it is, Comtienne. Stop 5 for today, Planet 1A. Oh, that's nice. That shouldn't be there though. 1A, Comtienne, okay. Course plotted even. So we've got some ideas given there. Oh, EVA suits. Oh, EVA, yes. Did you see that video by, what was it, Down to Earth Astronomy? Apparently EVA'd or something by accident. So, I don't know, I haven't actually seen it yet, but yes. EVA should have been an on-foot thing. To somehow, to some degree, somehow, I don't care, it should have been there, yes.
Frameshift drive charging.
And you know what? And megaships. Megaships, in some way, should have been landable and been able to walk inside as part of a gameplay loop for salvage. I hate to rip off another game, but this is something that should have been in and ripped straight from No Man's Sky. They have these derelict freighters you land on, you go inside, there's some combat, there's the scar, you know, it's a scary looking place, dark, whatnot. Quite fun. And they should have ripped that off.
But
we've seen how, and I'm going to say it blatantly, how fucking lazy they've been with interiors. Right, I'm not going to go into ship interiors arguments for and against all that crap, whatever. But just the basic like station interiors. It's just one glorified room with a couple of levels and some. It's got some sick prettiness to it, but it doesn't feel the right size for a space station that's supposed to be kilometers wide. It just feels too small. There's a lack of scale. You fail to see how they could lack ideas at this point. I don't know, but like I said, you're popping up order. Are these things that you're suggesting, have they already got things like this, but they just haven't put them in the game for one reason or another? Because, let me see, if the combat, on-foot combat is their best idea of doing it, they seem to be behind the times compared to other first-person shooter games. But I must admit, I like the ideas that you've come up with there, though, mate. And it makes you wonder, why couldn't have they thought of these? If they are, why are they not in the game? Where's that fucking planet I'm looking for? Oh, why can't I find the bloody place I'm looking for? Yeah, you're right about the stations. Just those vehicles going past, they give it that life, give it that property, they give it that scale. I mean, I've been like in the free cam view outside a cutter on the landing pad, and you get yourself down to a person level, and the thing is huge. So yeah, I would like that depth to give me a bit more involvement in the life of the game. But then we can talk about like power play and the BGS and how that's supposed to bring life to the game, and how it fucking doesn't. I mean, I only fucking bother with BGS just to fucking tip factions into a boom state so I can get 50 million wing missions. I don't give a fuck about most of the things. That's a shame, because you're right, these are the things that should be giving us a feeling of depth. I want to be able to live in the game. Alright, maybe not literally. Because I'd be dead in like 24 hours, man. This game's like murder hobo heaven. I feel sorry for an NPC in this game. It's like permanent fucking Vietnam. But you know what? That SRV thing you're saying, moving shit around, yeah, it doesn't have to be like a massive... There should be profit in it, you know, you're being paid to do a job. But, yeah, there should be some involvement in mechanic. Even if it would allow us to move things manually between our ship and, yeah, and say, a wingmate ship. You can transfer stock that way. Let me find this fucking... There it is, crash ship. Bollocks, okay. Let me just loop round far side of the planet. BGS doesn't stand for background sim, it stands for bullshit game states. I like that. That's classic. And to be honest, that's it sums it up, isn't it? You just play it to give yourself a fucking boom state for the missions. That's it. I mean, I've got a faction, and it's like, well, I almost ask myself, what's the fucking point? I control the system, I control ports, and that, you know, fuck it. Now what? There's no benefit. Where's the? I mean, this is what I mean. There's the depth, mate. There's the depth that's lacking. Oh fuck. Fuck knows. But it's same with power play, isn't it? We've all done a Aisling Duval, but at the end of the day, we only really want her for a prismatics.
Orbital flight engaged.
And then after that, pack hounds with Lu Rongyi, whatever his name is. But really, after that, I personally feel that everything else is pretty much niche weapons. They don't really interest me, to be honest, outside of those two. Maybe that Grom bomb missile. But again, what's the point of power play? Nothing changes, does it? Now I need to haul for some power play weapons. Oh, goodness me. Sucker for glutted punishment, aren't you? Alright, now coming touchdown.
Landing gear deployed.
Zamina Torval, the ugly hag. Sorry, she's a hag. I'm not gonna fucking ever support her. I don't know what she's gonna offer me. Don't care. You know, I know. Everybody hates her. I mean, I know the imps are supposed to be the slave mongers, but please, they look like fucking, like a charity compared to her. She's just one evil bitch. Do you know what? That's something else. Let's freshen up a good character or two from out of the power play. Get rid of her. Have her beaten up. Have someone, have an uprising. Yeah, make it a community goal. Do we keep Zamina Torval, or do we support an uprising and get rid of her? Don't you know, Zamina Torval is David Braben's wife? That's why she will never go. Oh, bless. Alright, of course she isn't, just in case someone's listening.
Handbrake is on.
Okay, fine. No, that's not what I want. Scanned again, so this is checkpoint number 5. See, she's older than the Queen. Yeah, she's older than the Queen, and we know the Queen's been around for fucking ever. The Queen has fucking better weapons than fucking Zamina Torval. Do you know what? Maybe we should start a petition. Like I said, get a community goal sorted out so they could either get rid of her or ooh. Yes, 100%. The woman is useless. But again, I think the people who originally came up with power play and all these stuff and stuff, I think they're actually
Friendship
gone now,
charge detected.
and there isn't actually anybody who's actually fucking knows what's going on in this part of the game. I actually think that's the case, which is why it should be changed. Is there should be more dynamicism in the movement of areas and stuff. It's I think we're stuck with it. I mean, to be honest though, you look at most of those weapons and stuff, for the average commander, how many of them are actually genuinely are going to be really, really useful to them, often enough for someone to want to use them? Oh yeah, what does actually supposed to people actually get here? I forgot to say, didn't I? What a moron. Alright, so yeah, this is checkpoint 5, gift from Rackham Capital Investments, and we get, oh yes, that was right, 100 million credits for this one. Green Flak launcher and the Snowflake Bobblehead. Bobblehead looks alright actually, it's not too bad, although it's only Christmassy, but still. Alright, so finally, it's time to go to number 6. The last stop on the journey. Well, yeah, you're right. Braben is still the CEO. He is the largest majority shareholder, alongside with his wife. Yeah, alongside, I think it was Ian Bell, back before, was when he and Braben started this game up. Obviously, Ian Bell is no longer involved, so this is all on Braben's head. Yes, it's his baby, as the expression is, I suppose, is the best way to put it. But I would say I think he has become more hands-off over time as Frontier has looked to grow. And we could say that's a good thing or a bad thing in hindsight. But of course, if you're going to expand, you're going to have to, divvy up your attention. So that him being less hands-on is not necessarily a bad thing in its own right. But that then brings on to choice of who he decides to take the reins in his place. Yeah, blame Braben's wife. He's too busy trying to get his space toys back into his space pram that he went and dropped Odyssey on his head. Oh shit. Right, now, 8 Reap, finally, yes. We'll blame Braben's wife, but I think Braben's just as much to blame himself anyway. Should have been more bloody hands-on. But it's time for us to go to stop number 6, the final one in the Winking Cat Christmas giveaway. Da, 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 da. Drum roll, please. and we are going to a place called Divorcee, which is what Braben should do to his wife, divorce her. And we should be to A12C. Last stop on the merry-go-round. There we are. Oh gosh, got 2009 seconds in. Okay, but A12C.
Landing gear retracted.
Alright. Let's go. Divorcee, here we come.
Frameshift drive charging.
And Reap. Alright. Reap, I'm going to put...
2, 1.
We're at the 6th stop. I'm going to leave it as a surprise until I scan it myself, and then we'll read the message that comes through. I already know what the prize is, but I'm going to leave it
Frameshift drive charging.
and scan it and read it in the message. How many jumps? I don't know. 3 jumps. 3 jumps! Damn. Hope it's a 2-star.
2, 1.
Sweet. Now I will say though, on the way there, that the best prize money was yesterday's one. So we're not going to beat yesterday's 100 million that they gave for scanning a fucking SRV. I actually thought that was a really good prize. I was actually surprised they gave away that much. It does make the whole exercise a little bit more rewarding.
Frameshift drive charging.
Oh, good. M-class star.
3, 2, 1.
Well, I'm not in it for the money. Yeah, money is insignificant. What does that mean? Money-wise, I'm doing good. I've got 56 billion, which is okay. That's all good. But obviously, if people aren't like, you know, for someone who's still a relative new, to get 150 million out of, if you follow this trail, you could have the whole thing done in, you know, a nice little session, take your time, an hour, 2 hours, for very little effort. But the ships I'm really happy with, because we've got the courier, although I've got to find a use for it now. That's the only problem. I don't know actually what to know to do with it. And I think that's the problem for most of my fucking ships. I've got something bigger, badder, faster, and can jump further. Here we go.
Surface scanned by 50%. Surface scan complete. Orbital flight engaged.
Okay, so we're now making our approach to Divorcee A12C. Okay, there we go, locked in. Not really happy to approach, a bit shallow for my liking. And we're down. Sweet, so we've made it. We're onto the ground. Let's get the SRV out and let's scan and see what goodies they're going to give us at this final point. Now this is point 6.
Low gravity
So
warning.
the first 3 points, 1, 2 and 3, they have to be completed by the 26th of January. That is the first 3 stops by the 26th of December, sorry. Bloody hell, I wish it was that long. But no, so you've got 4 days as of today. And then stops 4, 5, and this one's step 6.
Handbrake is on.
Flak launchers in red, yellow and green. I can't use the Festive jumper because that's Odyssey. But yeah, it's a nice little where's the ground?
Chassis integrity
Oh,
compromised.
come on, keep it on its wheels! Keep it on its wheels! Oh, fuck yeah. That counts as landing it. Hey, Reap. Thank you very much for your company today, mate. It's been a pleasure having you join me and chat and keep you company. Yeah, my man. All the best to you. Let's have a few more. Whoa! Let's have another little go at that ramp. Fix the engine. Well, full speed ahead. Woo!
Chassis integrity compromised.
Booyah! More over the ramp we go. Thunderball. That was the Bond film, wasn't it? Thunderball. Not quite. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, that one, that one. Let's park up now, get back in the ship, we've done a few jumps, pissed around in low gravity. Time to head up, let's go collect my Vulture and have a look at it with its lovely red skin. So, back up into, let's get back into Dora. Come on, get in there.
Incoming message.
Ah, perfect timing. Carriers arrived. Okay, let's, what's the name of that port again? Can't remember, so let's just search here. Fowler Orbital, that was the one.
Cargo scoop deployed. Cargo scoop retracted.
And 3, 2, 1, tally ho.
Frameshift drive charging. 4, 3, 2, 1. Engage.
Oh, come on, don't give me Braven Tunnel. The Tunnel of Bravenness. You have the power. Yes, come on, come on. See, Reap, you're lucky. You went, mate. This is what we get for talking about Braven's wife. We get the Braven Tunnel of Death. Probably followed by a taupe adder or a scarlet crate or an orange sidewinder. Now I can't even send a message to Skeldaroo. Skeldaroo, there, lad. Oh, we made it. We escaped the Braven Tunnel of Death. Da, da, da. Okay, so now final stop on the tour is to go to Fowler Orbital, so we can have a look at our lovely little vulture and check out the Icarus red skin for it. Damn, fuel's starting to get a bit low, but plenty for the journey. Well, that's not been too bad. I've been chatting away, flying around, doing this, and it's taken me so far just over 2 hours. So while 150 million credits in 2 hours may not exactly be the biggest money-making scheme going, far from it, it's a nice little lump sum to get for very little work, getting to explore a few places, mess around on some low gravity, and get a couple of free ships. I have to say, overall, I do like this Christmas little story, although, as always, the clues got solved less than 2 hours after they came out, but hey, I don't mind. But yeah, this has been a good little experience. Haven't been ganked, which is always a positive. And pass the time by chatting a load of bullshit. If people will probably disagree with how I feel about the game, but fair enough. Had some ideas and had a good time. So thank you for staying with me all the way through to this point. And if you want to hang around for a little bit longer, we'll just wait so we can have a look at the Vulture and have a look at the new red Icarus skin. Pilot Orbison, you have arrived.
Lincoln Delta, Oscar Romeo. Welcome to this independent station, Commander. Please fly safely during arrival and departure.
Let us store the Explorer. Stop for
Request approved. Set down on landing pad 28. Good old Dora. Served me well. Fuel. And there we go.
one little vulture. And let's go have a quick look at the skin. Oh yeah, that's the Azure one I've had in the past for free. Ooh. I actually gotta say I kinda like that. Shame you can't move this camera angle around, but hey, that's actually a nice one. I mean, it looks better on it than the Chieftain one. The Chieftain Christmas one didn't seem to fit it right. But yeah, that one's good. I'm actually very happy with that. Bonus. No. And you know what then? As a final... I've got to change that.
Greetings, Commander.
Okay, let's give it a quick bit. See if there's anything in outfitting here. A loaned power plant. Bloody hell. Only a 3A. Ooh, looks like we're going to need a power plant. Oh, there wasn't one. Yeah, let's shove a couple of those on. Okay, let's fly this back to my carrier then and park it up. Now I'm going to have to think of a name for this ship. That's one thing I'm absolutely stumped on. Okay, let's select destination. Which is all the way back to where I came from. There it is. Deep Space Nine. So this is going to be my final journey for today, and now that the quest, all 6 parts have been completed, everything is all done and complete. So what we can do is to give you a rundown. So stop number 1 was called Gift from Worldcraft Theme Park. That was in Epsilon Eridani. The planet was Major's Mine, and the reward for scanning the crash ship was 10 million credits, the Festive red Flak launcher, and a 5B luxury cabin that is stored at Dark's High in Epsilon Eridani. Stop number 2 was called Gift from Achilles. It was located in the Daiso system at planet 5B, and again you scan the crash ship and you will receive 10 million credits, an Explorer Festive green paint job, a green Santa jumper outfit. It should be noted that the jumper outfit is only for Odyssey users. Can't use it on Horizons or on console. Stop number 3 was called Gift from the Duvals. It was located in the ZX system, which is ZEAEX, on the planet Irvin's Wreck. Your reward for scanning the ship there was again 10 million credits, an Imperial Courier, and that was stored at Drigvassen Orbital. Now these 3 stops are live until the 26th of December 2021 or 3307 in game. So as of now you have 4 days left in which to complete. Moving on to the second part, and that is stop number 4, also known as Gift from Oscar Goldsun. That is located in the Epsilon Indy system at Mitterand Hollow. And yes, that is the Mitterand Hollow that everyone knows, that has the insane orbital time. Yeah, the planet orbits, the moon orbits its planet in about a minute. It really is crazy, but it's wonderful, and it's great that we're getting to see it if you've never seen it before. Word of advice, and that is to approach the planet from the front side of its circular orbit. So that means when you approach the planet, make sure it is coming towards you. If the planet has gone past you, it will actually move away from you quicker than your ship can move in its orbital plane. So you need to head the opposite way from the planet and actually circle around, so you head on into it head first. So yes, that is it. Watch which way it rotates around its main planet, and make sure you head so it's heading towards you. Do not chase it, because you will never catch it. Apart from that, have fun, and the reward will be 10 million credits again, an Alliance Chieftain Festive gold paint job, the yellow Festive Flak launcher, and they will be stored at Schneider Relay in Epsilon Indy. Stop 5, also known as the Gift from Rackham Capital Investments. This is located in the Contien system, that's Contien, planet 1A. Now your reward there will be a fantastic 100 million, I repeat 100 million credits, the green Flak launch Christmas launcher, and a Snowflake Bobblehead, with items being stored at Ian's Vision in the same system. Then last but not least, stop 6, also known as the Gift from Imogene Leray Frontline Solutions. This is located in the Divorcee system at planet A12C, about just over 2,000 light seconds from the main star. Your reward will be 10 million credits, a Vulture plus the Icarus red paint job, which will be stored at Fowler Orbital. So that's your locations, your prizes, your credits, your cosmetics, etc., etc. All in all, very worthwhile, and I'm actually think it's pretty decent. And that's perfect timing. Dropping in on my carrier now.
This carrier expects considerate pilots. Fly safely, Commander.
Oh well, this carrier ain't gonna
Permission
affect me.
granted. Please approach your designated landing pad in good time.
Landing pad number 15. Gear down.
Landing gear deployed. Scan detected.
Yep, we're down. One piece, that will do.
Almost safe landing. Clamps engaged. Greetings, Commander. We are glad to have you.
So that's it. I'm back. I've completed the whole tour, just over 2 hours, and that was taking my time and relaxing. You can actually do this a lot quicker. So I'd like to say this is time for me to be done for now. Job done, mission complete. I need to go eat and refuel. So as always, Commanders, 07 to you all. Thanks for watching. I hope you found it some information useful somewhere along the line, or whether or not you've just enjoyed listening to me chatting away in the background as you're doing something else. It's all good. So, I'd just like to end on 07, fly safe. And if you can't fly safe, then of course, fly dangerously. Peace out.